Hello, DigiFam. Welcome to the first game in the Digital Gate tournament that I put together here. This is going to be featuring a bunch of my various decks up against each other. Pardon me. And the match we have here today is going to be Necromon versus my Warping Agumon deck. Alright. So the decks have already been shuffled. Now we're just rolling dice to see who goes first. It's like Warping Agumon got a 3. Necromon does his dice roll next. Looks like I got a 4, so Necromon will be going first. Alright, decks have already been shuffled. Now we're just dealing our initial hands to see if we want to keep them or mulligan before we do our security. Alright. Necromon's taking a second to think about it. And he's decided to go ahead and just mulligan that. Must have been some stuff he wanted to keep, but at the same time, not playable. So there's our new hand. So we automatically set up our new security. And now it's going to be the Warping Agumon's turn. Alright, looks like he's going to mulligan as well. Alright, so now with both decks mulliganed and setting up security, I guess whatever hands they have is the hand they have been dealt. Alright, so Digital Gate. Open. Alright, so our match is now going to start. So Necromon will hatch. Go into the Ghostmon here. And then the pass turn, he'll Evo into Bakumon. Draw. Alright. Warping Agu, hatch. Go into an Agumon. Evo into a Greymon. And he still has a move he can do the pass turn. He's going to play Island of Adventure, I believe. So that way he can take a top card of security, add it to hand, and then put something in security that gives him a plus 2k buff on his stuff. And now Necromon's turn comes up. He pushes out a raising. And I apologize for the glare. Hopefully you can see it as it comes out at least. I'll have to see about trying to do the repositioning of the camera a bit, or the lighting one. Alright. Looks like we go into a Phantomon. And that passes turn. We push up our Greymon from raising for the Warping deck. And we decide to go ahead and just make our swing, try and get some security pitches in. Hitting for at least a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9k. Get our draw for the Coromon egg. Play out an Agumon to try and do some digging. Let's see, we can grab a tie and we can grab a Greymon or Omnimon name card. The only thing there to grab is the tie. Alright, now over to Necromon. Alright, we're going to play out the newest Violent M boots that gives our stuff rush when we Digivolve. And now pass turn. I guess the Phantomon did not want to swing. And I believe this was the Phantomon that has the hand effect but not the execute. Alright, the Warping Agumon will play his own tamer out the pass turn. Goes back over to Necro. Hatch. And I guess Warping Agumon forgot to do their hatch. Alright, Necro goes into a Ghostmon, and then looks like we Evo into the Necromon. When Digivolving, delete the lowest play cost. And then in a turn, we'll go ahead and just have it swing, and we're going to have it go into the body. Take out the Greymon. And then end of turn, the Necromon's execute effect will finish off by making itself get deleted. And now we're going to be just choosing our activation of our on deletion effects. Going to choose the 2 that gives us memory first. Then we're going to play a level 4 body thanks to the Phantomon's inheritable. We're going to grab back a Necro. Oh, looks like I might misplay by the Necromon deck. He forgot to go ahead and play out a level 5 body. So far both decks have made a minor misplay. Warping Agu forgot to hatch when they probably could have, and the Necromon forgot to play out a level 5 body. Alright, but they do go ahead and go in for a emblem here that lets them play a Violent M boots that's in their hand. Looks like it's the kind that lets you reduce your Digivolution cost. So we still have at least a Bakumon on the field. So now we hatch. Now we Evo in the raising into an Agumon. And then turn that Agumon into a Greymon. Gonna pay a hefty price for that one card just to try and kill off that one body. It's a... I forget the name of it. Is the option card that costs 6 and can get 1 less cheaper for each body your opponent has on the field. Deletes everything that is 6k or lower, and then keeps them from playing Digimon by effects. So that will kind of slow down the Ghost deck a little bit. Alright, the Ghost deck pulls up. It's Ghostmon, Evos into Baka. And then Evos again into Phantomon. Looks like this is the one that does have execute, I think. Oh, no, wait. I think this is the hand effect one. Yep. So still no actual execute, I don't think. Again, I apologize for the glare. I will see about trying to fix that in the future videos. Alright, so Warping Agu goes up next. Pushes out a raising, and it's going to go ahead and swing. It's got at least a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus that tie, so at least a 11k body. Oh, but it does hit a slightly bigger body in the form of Necromon in the security. If that Necromon wasn't there, that Greymon would have actually done 2 checks, because it's the type that says if it has Agumon, the sources, it would have been 2 checks. So, very unfortunate. Only off by like a couple K. Well, to make up for that, the Warping Agu player will put down another tie, so now going forward he hopefully won't come across that same problem again, but it could prove to be a little too late. Alright, so Necromon player here is just going through some cards, getting ready to make a move. It is going to go ahead and go into Necromon. And then it will use its ability to use Execute to go ahead and just swing into security for 2 checks and then kill itself and then activate all its on deletions. That will get rid of the Island card along with another face down security. And then now it's going to pop off. Let's see if the Necromon player remembers to play level 5 this time. So same thing, he's going to go with the game memory first. And he's going to choose to get back a body with the egg. And plays a level 4. But still didn't play level 5. So, that means the Necromon player has misplayed to where he actually could have had an extra body on board twice now. Alright. Well, it doesn't matter because he goes ahead and just evos for reduced cost thanks to the Violent M boots into Phantomon. Then he activates the emblem to make that Phantomon go straight into a Dullahanmon. And then because we evoed, able to activate the newer Violent M boots to give it rush. So now we have a rush 14k body. It's normally when Digivolving Effect would delete something, but if it doesn't, it gets a power boost. It's going to swing in at the end of turn using its Execute effect as well. So it's another 2 checks. And still manages to pull off some on deletion effects. It will at least gain 1 memory and play a level 4 body. But then I also think it has an effect on Dullahanmon himself to play out a level 6. Let's see, it's hard to tell the glare, but I think Necromon, for a 3rd time, actually forgot to put out another body. I think it only brought back a level 6, I believe. Again, it's kind of hard to tell the glare, so I really apologize for that. I will have to see about trying to fix that going forward. But I believe that is a level 6 Necromon, probably the one that got hit earlier from security. Well, it looks like the Agumon player just goes ahead and hatches, evos, and then hard plays a Metal Greymon that has blocker. So it's trying to survive as best it can. Necromon goes next. It's got 4 memory to work with. Or, yeah, 4 memory. I looked away for a second, so I don't know if it actually managed to gain another memory from the tamer. It goes ahead and he hatches and then raises that in that area. Then hard plays another Ghostmon to do a little digging. Alright. And whilst, yeah, it was a Necromon, so I was right about that. So he's going to go ahead and just swing with that Necromon while it's still his turn. So not using Execute. He'll just swing in, and that Greymon player has no choice but to go ahead and just block. And then the pass turn, it evos in the raising for a Bakumon. Alright, so now it is the Warping Agu player, and so far it has not looked good for it. It pushes out. Now it has the Agumon that can work with the Agumon Bond of Bravery. So big question is, do they have it in the hand? If they have it in the hand, they could potentially have a comeback right now. Oh, no, they're doing something else, though. They are doing a different kind of warp. They are playing the Crest of Courage option card, 4 cost. Lets you go ahead and just take an Agumon and shove a Metal Greymon and Greymon underneath its sources and evo into a War Greymon. Okay, so it's went into the War Greymon. That'll gain Security Attack +1 and Raid, along with Piercing. So yeah, he managed to clear out the security. The Necromon's on deletion effect is going to let him play back a level 5. He gains back Phantomon. Let's see. Yeah, very close match here, despite both of them making a bunch of misplays, especially the Necromon deck. Alright. So let's see. Necromon deck's turn. He pushes up the Bakumon. And let's see, looks like he's trying to figure out what he wants to do. He probably has game right here, really. Oh, wait, he actually decides to evo the Bakumon into the Metal Phantomon to have a blocker? And he's trying to swing with the Phantomon that he just has, but it doesn't have Rush, so that wouldn't be possible. He would be able to swing with the other body, though, and the option card that gets revealed for that attack, even though it shouldn't have happened, is an option card that lets him bring back an Agumon from trash. So, yeah, by all rights, as close as it was, it's the Phantomon deck that actually technically won this. Because he could have just easily just swung with everything he had, didn't have to bother with putting out a blocker. Agumon player evos that Agumon, and then, yeah, I think, yeah, he just gives it to the Necromon player or deck. So, yep, that is it for that. The Warping deck is going to go first since it lost. And he starts off with a Agumon in the raising and playing a tie. Now it's a Necromon player. Necromon player will go ahead and hatch and then evo into a Ghostmon. Then he's going to play a Ghostmon to do a little bit of digging. It can grab a Ghost and a Liberator trait. So he's going to grab the Phantomon as a Ghost and the option card as a Liberator trait. Alright. Then he's going to proceed to evo that Ghostmon that he just played into a Bakumon, and that will give it a Violent M-Boots. Alright, now over to the Agumon deck. So he pushes from raising. He's got 2 effects that will go off right now. First, the tie is going to let him gain a memory and draw a card. And now he's going to have the effect of the Agumon that says, start a main phase. If you have a tie tamer, this can evo into one at no cost. So the question is, does he have one? Yes, he does. He does indeed have one. Alright. Okay, so now he'll go into a Or nope, he's going to just hard play an Agumon, do a little bit more digging, looking for some more Greymons and ties. Trying to decide which ones he wants. He's going to grab the Starter Deck Greymon. And that's going to make him go to 0 memory. So he's got one more play he can make. But if anything else, he's going to first go ahead and swing. He's currently swinging with at least 5k, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9k, and he gains a memory in the process for having a tie. So at least 9k. Let's see if he hits anything bad in security. Nope, he lives. Alright. You gotta draw off that Coromon. And then he's gonna hard play a memory setter tie. This is gonna be the tie that is black and lets you get plus 2k and draw whenever an attack target switches. Necromon's gonna push out a raising. Alright. And then that Bakumon's going to Evo into Phantomon. Alright, now what's else it going to do? Alright, he's actually going to go into Necromon, give the opponent 4 memory. Now, is he going to activate Execute? He gets to delete the lowest body just from Evoing into that. And now he's going to activate Execute and go into Security for 2 checks. And he does hit a Tamer. It's going to be the red Tamer that likes to give you a plus 2k boost at the start of your main phase on a vaccine type, and if you hit Security, gain a memory. Execute's going to activate. He'll gain some memory. Looks like in the last game he forgot about it, but this time he's remembering to play 2 bodies instead of 1 off of that Necromon. And if anything else, it looks like he is actually going to activate the Bakumon's on play effect to delete another body in order to delete an opponent's level 4 or lower, just so he can get that egg effect to bring back a Necromon back to hand. So, not looking too good for the Greymon player. Or Greymon deck, I should say. He's going to hatch. Evo into an Agumon. And then he's going to go ahead and just play down another tie. This is going to be the kind that lets you gain a memory and draw whenever you push an Agumon or Greymon out of raising. And that puts him at 0, so he's got one more play he could make. Question is, what is he going to do? He's currently sitting on only 2 security. He's actually going to go ahead and just pass turn. Alright, so Necromon deck goes next. And he has a level 5 and a level 4 on the field, so he is pretty much set. He can do whatever he wants. Alright, he's going to Evo that Phantomon into a Necro. Memory will go over. Will he choose to activate the Execute? No, it looks like he does not. Looks like he actually wants to keep that body on board for right now. Which, granted, I guess you wouldn't get much out of him popping his own body right now. So. Alright, so Agumon player pushes out a raising, gets 2 memory, gets 2 draws. The tie is going to give him plus 2k, and then the Agumon will Evo into a Greymon for free. Alright, so now he's got a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11k body when he swings. So he's going to swing. Alright. Does he survive? Yep, he survives. So not bad. Alright. Now what else can he do here? He has to try and do something about the Necromon board. Oh, he's actually going to Evo into a Skull Greymon. So Skull Greymon here is going to say, when digivolving, trash a card from your hand, and then delete your lowest level Digimon, which in this case means itself, in order to delete the lowest level Digimon the opponent has. And then on deletion, if you have a tie, you can play back an Agumon from your trash, and it gains Rush. So he's going to bring back an Agumon that has the ability to look at top 3 and grab a tie or Greymon name card. He's going to grab himself a Greymon. And he's currently sitting at 3 memory, so let's see what he does. Okay, he evos into a Greymon. This is the Greymon that says if it has an Agumon in its sources, it gains Security Type Plus. So he's going to go ahead and swing with it, since it did gain Rush. Alright. Oh. Oh, it looks like we actually forgot to do 2 checks on that. So that means the Necromon player should actually be at 1 security. Alright, he's going to Evo that Greymon into another Skull Greymon and just rinse and repeat. Do the same thing. Trash a card from hand, delete it, and then delete the opponent's Ghostmon. Or not Ghostmon, but Necromon. So I'll bring back another Agu. It'll have Rush. He gets to do some more digging. Oh, he's found a Warping War Greymon. Alright, now the opponent gets to activate their on deletion effects and bring back a Phantomon. Alright. So now Necromon's turn. He hatches. So technically right now there was a misplay. The Necromon player should have taken 2 hits from that last one, but he only took 1. So he should be at 1 security. So a pretty close match technically. So the first game we had some misplays quite a bit by the Necromon player, but the Necromon player technically won. Alright, so he's going to actually use that Phantomon and pay the full 6 cost to go right into Dullahanmon, since he does have a Violent N-Boots on board. And that Phantomon normally wouldn't be able to attack since it just came out this turn, but he's going to activate the Violent N-Boots to give it Rush, and now it can attack with its Execute ability. Oh, but first it's actually going to delete the lowest thing first, then it can swing. And that will actually clear out the Warping Agumon security. The last card in security is Genai's place, which lets them play a level 3 from trash or hand. Going to do that same thing. Go ahead and dig top 3 and look for a Greymon or tie. He's going to grab a Metal Greymon. Alright, now that Execute effect is going to kill off the Dullahanmon, and then on deletion effect will let him play a level 6. And then the Phantomon that was underneath it is going to let him play a level 4. So he's gone right back to having 2 fresh bodies on the board. Alright, well the Agumon player has 4 memory. It's at 0 security. The opponent should technically be at least 1. The Necromon should be at least 1. So they're both really close. Oh, looks like he's going to do the same play as he did last time. He's going to play the Crest of Courage card to go ahead and pay 4. Put a Greymon and Metal Greymon in the Agumon sources and allow it to digivolve into a War Greymon. Alright. Unfortunately, that Agumon just came out this turn, so it does not have Rush. Otherwise, it would be able to swing. So that's the only thing holding back the Agumon player from trying to make a slight comeback here. If only he had a way to get that thing Rush. He managed to do it earlier with the Skull Greymons, but I guess that rush train, as it were, ran out. So he's going to go ahead and just hard play a Greymon for 5. Just to get him another body on board. Because usually the Necromon stuff, when they do Evo or on play, it's usually targeting the lowest level stuff first. So you got to have another body out there. So I can understand that setup. Looks like the Necromon player is going to play an interesting card. He's actually going to play the Back for Revenge option card. And that just gives the Digimon in question a floating effect of on deletion, play this card back. It does not get on play effects. And then he's going to Evo the Necromon into Dullahanmon. And even though that will pass the memory over, by digivolving he gets to delete the lowest, and then he can activate Execute to go ahead and swing to try to win the game. Alright, so it looks like the Necromon player has won it again. Oh, wait, no. One final hurrah. So he's going to Blast Ace into Agumon Bond of Bravery. And he gets to delete something that has the same DP as it or lower. So we're just comparing... Or actually, no, it's actually delete as many things equal to its DP. And does he have enough to actually clear the entire board and stop the final swing from going through? Nope. Looks like he's actually short. On top of that, the Dullahanmon's on deletion effect will play out the Necromon, so now he's up to 2 bodies instead of 1. They can't swing, but the Bakumon can. Alright, so that is it. That is the final verdict on that. So it looks like in the end, the winner of that match is Necromon. Now, there was quite a few misplays by both players, mainly the Necromon player in the first games. But yeah, he technically won that, even though he made a lot of misplays and could have had more bodies out. So yeah, unfortunately, the Warping Bond deck just did not have enough firepower. It also would have helped if it had some more rush or even blocker. But hey, if nothing else, after this, it will just get a bit of some tuning to try and be better. Alright, so next, we have some more matches coming up for the Digital Gate tournament. So please stay tuned. And if you enjoyed the gameplay and audio like this, make sure you like, comment, and definitely subscribe. And stay tuned as we have many more games and much more content on the way. This has been Prodigious, and I will see you next time.